Knowledge.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to Bar Talk Live. We've had a bit of a delay here, but we should be back on track. Let us know how things look and how it sounds. Um, but yeah, no, as always, I'm your host, Marcus. Join with me is Alan and Ivan. We've also got a very special guest today that I will let Alan introduce.
So we have a special guest here. His name is Christian. He is my brother. Reason why I wanted to have him on this podcast, I feel like Christian has a very special story to tell. I feel like we all reminisce about our times during COVID. Like, oh, where were you during COVID? Or like, what were you doing during COVID? Like, for me and Ivan, I know we were, or me, Ivan, and Marcus. I mean, we were all just kind of living there, love it. But I feel Christian has a very special point of view, and I just feel like his story will open some eyes to people. It's just his journey through all of it. It's just a different story. So I feel like it's good for him to talk about it and let people know and experience it. So he's
Yeah,
also a streamer on here, so y'all check him out.
yeah, we'll make sure to shout out his channel, and I'll see if there's a way I can link it in here as well. That way, you guys can check Christian out whenever he goes live on Twitch. So, but
He's
without,
actually there in the comments.
I'm in the chat
Dr.
right now.
yeah,
Dr.
Yeah,
Smash 404.
let me see. Go ahead and pin that there. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our drink of the week. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we already did one take on this, so they're not fresh cans. But drinking a little Jack Daniel's Cherry Coca Cola, RTD, pretty good. Yeah, Alan, what you got?
I got a. I mean, it would have been better when I first cracked it open, but uh, it's a freshly still Modelo. It's one sip taken, so nice and crisp.
Mint
Ivan,
You can't
condition.
go wrong.
what you got
Ivan, what
for
do you
us
got
today?
over there?
I'm kind of on a health kick, so like I don't want to drink a beer, so I have a kombucha.
Kombucha.
It has
Hey,
alcohol.
and it does have alcohol.
So I'll
A
be honest,
small
I had
amount.
no
Pregnant
clue.
women can't drink it.
I did not know it had alcohol, so that's kind of the more you know, right?
Lock in, Marcus. That's all I gotta say.
Christian,
Lock
Hey,
in.
You're only allowed to drink water, so
Lock in, dude. You
Yeah.
don't. You probably don't have good gut health, do you?
hey,
it's
look,
Lock
I'll
in.
have
essential.
great good health. No.
That's, that's good water right there.
Heck yeah, man. Any other water, I just feel like crap if I drink it.
hey,
Essential
Christian, at
waters
least you
that.
brought a good water though. Last time Alan came in with great value purified
Hey,
water.
bro. Hey,
All
bro.
that.
Hey, bro.
Oh, this is off a little bit of a tangent, but they're linking higher blood pressure to like drinking bottled water, like especially like cheap Walmart ones.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't want to say Walmart specifically, but like because of the microplastics from the
Hmm.
bottles. This microplastics thing is it's getting real, guys. So
Is it just
I
getting
don't
real?
know
I
too
feel like
much
it's
about
been
it,
real.
but
I feel like it's
no, but I mean
been.
it's like getting really real.
I mean,
I
yeah,
feel
it
For
never
like
real, for
stopped.
real.
Yeah.
as we've been going on as a race, we just like keep wanting the cheaper option.
Sure,
So
no,
fast,
no.
it's just like
I have a Modelo, Jaren. He's talking shit right now.
Yeah, Jaren, we can vouch he is actually drinking a Modelo. Um,
Shelby says W drinks, W drinks. I don't know about the kombucha though.
yeah, you know what? I've never had a kombucha, honestly.
I've had it once or
dude,
twice.
I can't really talk much on it.
it's, no, I didn't like it at first. Then I just like got used to it. And I don't know. I enjoy them now. I get
Yeah.
excited when I see a new kombucha because then I'm like, I kind of want to try it.
Is it an
that's
I'm
acquired
also
taste?
weird,
that's
so
interesting.
it's an acquired. There you go. There you go. That's what I was
It's
trying to say.
it's
It
kind
is
of
an
stinky,
acquired
bro.
taste.
What's that?
It's kind
So
of
it's kind of
like,
stinky.
Is it?
Yeah, it smells kind
Mm.
of funny, bro.
I don't know. Shut your mouth, Alan. All right, don't talk about it like that. Nah, I
Yeah.
mean it does. I mean, like I said, it's acquired taste. It's acquired taste.
Yeah. But so guys, we've had our first episode under our belt. It was 3 years. We definitely still have some learning curves to get over. Me especially. I think we've got it figured out now. I think we're doing okay as far as its live stream goes. But we will get it better. We'll start on time. I swear. One time we'll get there. But
Yeah, one day we
I
will.
mean, how are you guys feeling now that we're kind of back? We're back in a groove. I mean, do you guys feel that we're like in a groove of some sort? And or what are you guys thinking?
Honestly, like I can say for myself, like I think it's something to look forward to now. something I have to look forward to every Tuesday. Um, it's not as much as the first Jitters as it was last week. I remember the first time we did it. That first time was like kind of like it's just kind of reminiscent about the old times too. But um, I mean, it's just something to look forward to right now. So it's keeping my week going. So I'll tell you that much.
Definitely. Ivan, what you think about it?
4 words. Yep. Beers with the boys. 4 words.
Ooh, I
Beers
like
with
it.
the
What's
I
what's
like
better
it,
than
dude.
what's better than beers with the boys? Come on.
I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, you
And
know,
water and water.
I mean,
And
that's what
water.
this whole
And water.
podcast was about. Was just us
Burgers.
hanging out with each other, having a few drinks, and just talking. I mean, I feel like we've told this story before, but it all just kind of started where we were. I mean, that's what we would do is we'd all get together and we'd just sit there and talk, and we're like, hey, this could be something that people might want to listen to. So here we are now, 5 years later. I think we started like 5 years ago. My God,
I'll drink.
but
I'll drink to
20.
that.
hey,
I'll
Yeah.
drink to that.
Cheers, 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 cheers.
so Christian,
Keeping it cold.
tell us
Hell yeah.
when
yeah,
did you start
Christian,
listening to
hell
the podcast? Did Alan tell you like as soon as we started it, or how did that kind of work? Was he a little bit, you know, shy about it,
I
or
think when I first heard about y'all's podcast, man, I think I was barely out of the hospital. Like
I think
that's the latest memory. That's the
Yeah.
earliest one that I can remember.
we started podcasting while he was in the hospital.
okay?
If I'm not
Yeah, I didn't
mistaken.
find out till I got out.
Yeah, because that was like
I'm not.
2020, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's crazy.
yeah, so about 5 years we've been doing this now, with of course a hiatus in between, but
Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap in between,
yeah,
but
Y'all back?
we're back. We're trying to keep this a regular thing. We might have people in and out each time, but you know we're gonna keep this as consistent as possible on a weekly basis every Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Best way to keep up with any sort of communications from us is our Twitter account. You know, we send a lot of updates on there as far as if we're not
Dude.
going to be streaming. But yeah, definitely follow us there.
First off,
What's up?
I just want to say it's X, dude.
Oh,
Call it
I'm
Twitter,
not gonna
dude.
call it
And
X.
And that offended me.
No.
That offended me.
No,
Okay.
no.
it's
I'm
like the
not gonna
people
call
That
it
who call
offended me, dude.
America
Okay.
word.
But
Sick to my stomach. Say X. Call it X.
no, I mean, Christian. I mean, while we're here on the subject, do you want to kind of tell us a little bit about yourselves? Tell our viewers a little bit about you, and I mean, you know, however you want to do it, we're here to listen.
Alrighty. Well, my name's Christian, and as Alan said, I've been his brother since since he was born. But on the topic of COVID, when COVID came out, I thought of it as a joke and everything, like everybody else. You hear somebody cough. I remember I was working at Walmart with Alan
Yeah.
back in like 2020, 2019.
This is when I
You hear
first started.
somebody
using it.
sneeze.
We had a code. We had a code Sam at that Walmart. You remember that, bro?
Mm.
Every hour they would go on the intercom and say code Sam, and that meant they would give you like this little hand sanitizer every day or every week. And so every time they go on the intercom, they'd say code Sam, and it's not time for code Sam. You had to. It was crazy,
Are you
bro.
serious?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we-
I'm serious.
We had to go in
Oh,
through
I
the
didn't know
automotive
that.
side to get our temperature
Was-
checked
was
before we
it-
can clock in.
How chaotic was that? Working at
At
Walmart
Walmart.
during COVID.
So Christian was there. He can tell you more about like prime COVID when I didn't start off until like it was like I think you were there when they were having to wait. They were having to have people wait in line, huh?
Yeah, I was there before. I started there before COVID hit, and during that whole chaotic mess. It was pretty chill.
Stressed?
No,
Or stressed at all?
nah.
Nah,
Did
bro.
you?
I think it was
Is
more.
that like? Was it early enough to where you weren't like? It is what it is. Like you weren't too worried about it. Kind of like vibe did you have? Or is
It
just
was
like,
early enough where we were just joking about it, like coworkers and I, because I worked in OGP,
Oh yeah.
and we would just crack jokes anytime we'd hear somebody sneeze or something, because it's still when it was like not even hitting Texas yet. So
OGP's where y'all deliver the groceries, right?
Yeah.
online grocery
Right?
pickup.
No,
Should pick up.
So y'all had decent contact, right? Pretty much
Yeah,
all day.
yeah. We always
Yeah.
had contact.
Hmm.
The crazy thing is, people would go in
That's
literally,
wild.
like they'd literally go into the with their cars and like have their mask on and like. I remember some people would have like papers on their window, like if like we weren't gonna be in contact with them. Like that shit was crazy to me though. But and Angelo, when we worked at San Angelo, it was different because compared to like when I to the one in Lubbock.
Yeah.
The one in San Angelo, I feel like they had like less restrictions, and I don't even think we had any restrictions really in Lubbock.
Really?
But I mean,
Wait, in Lubbock or in San Angelo?
in San Angelo, I don't remember us having very many restrictions there during the COVID time. I just remember showing up, getting my temperature taken, and then that was it. And then they code Sam all the time. But like, it was crazy because like you can ask Christian. Like I remember going out there with the customers or with the delivery drivers. Like it didn't matter. Like these people would show up with or without COVID, and like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, man. I
It was a
remember.
wild time.
I remember during COVID at the Lubbock Walmart, we would get in like a pallet of toilet paper, and we would have to like guard the toilet paper, and we would limit like one packet of toilet paper per family. Like that blew my mind. I don't know why everyone went crazy for toilet paper, but that's what it was. I mean, I don't know if you guys kind of had anything like that going on over there, but I mean,
We did.
yeah, I don't
I
understand
worked
it.
at Lowe's. That was crazy. I worked at Lowe's for like 6 months
Uh huh.
during COVID, and it was like wear a mask, and I had glasses. My glasses would fog up.
The
Dude, it
fog
was
on
like
the glasses.
torture.
Yeah.
Dude, that was like I could never solve that equation, bro. Like I was constant. Like I was like I'll just be blind. It's okay. I don't want to have to deal with that.
But you know
So
what? I do remember that, we kind of talked about how, like, in Texas, COVID wasn't really serious up until a certain point. And I still remember when it became serious for me. And it was, and I'm sure you guys might have this exact same, recollection of that. But it was as soon as the NBA decided to cancel their season. And then I can't remember if it was
I
right
remember,
before that or right after that. Reports came in that Tom Hanks and his wife got COVID.
they had it. Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
dude,
And that's
you're
whenever
not
I was like,
wrong. That
okay,
was a big deal.
yeah, that's whenever I was like, okay, like this is like not just overseas, like this is
When
like,
when
yeah,
celebs started getting it
oh
here
yeah,
in the U.S., it was like
I,
it all shifted all of a sudden. Like it
so
got serious then.
I just remember like come March, that's when like they told us to go home. We're still in San Angelo,
mm-hmm.
and then they told us to go home for spring break or whatever. And then they were like, when y'all come back, we're gonna reevaluate. And then at the time, Christian and me were still living in San Angelo. And then when we come back, I don't even think we went back. I think Christian, you stayed up there, right? You stayed in San
Yeah, I
Angelo.
stayed for a little bit.
He stayed up there for a while, and then uh, we came back. We for spring break, they were like, it's just gonna be like a 2 week extension.
Yep, I
Those two
remember
weeks
that.
came and went. Those 2 weeks came and went, and we were all still there. Christian was still. I wasn't working at Walmart yet, and so after everything got moved on to online classes, that's when I decided to tell Christian, "Hey, give me a job over there." I still had an apartment over there. He was living over there already, so that's when the Walmart started happening. But I remember him telling me the stories of just like the prime, like COVID, like how y'all were talking about, like there was literally. I remember when we went, there's people in line, like how I was saying, like people in line. They remember how y'all had to have those counters, bro. In your
Hmm.
hands, they had to have like counters and stuff. Like,
Oh, to count how many people were going inside.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Hmm.
remember that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
'Cause I know, Christian, you said that you guys would like check in there at the automotive center. I remember we had like this fire hallway, that they had like all the electrical stuff, and the firefighters, if they had to come in, they would go through there, and that's where we would do all of our temps. And I feel like what we had to like test people was so inaccurate, because if you were outside, like, and it was a hot day, and you come in, your temp's gonna be higher than what it was. I remember there were points where we'd get like reports of somebody like their temp coming in at like 70 something, and we're like, how does that even make sense? Your temperature is
Sweat.
coming in at like 70 degrees, and I don't know how they came up with those or whatever, but it it was all just very surreal going on, and it was kind of interesting seeing it through a different lens, through that um, lens of working at a Walmart. Because I mean, I feel like that's where everybody flocked to as soon as they heard that COVID was affecting the U.S. As they went to Walmart and they stocked up on whatever they could. So
So tell us a little bit more about like when you after San Angelo, like where did you go to, bro?
So I had left San Angelo because, the schools were shut down and everything.
hmm
I had just changed my major and everything. I was like, I'm gonna try this new major. School gets shut down. Alan had left already. I was like, well, why am I gonna stick here? So I go to Lubbock, right? Because I'm like, I got a job offer at a warehouse where they're like, we're gonna pay you more. Not true.
not even
That
hazard
wasn't
pay.
true, but no, not even.
Alright.
It was all commission pay
Oh,
and
Some
like,
of them, like the jobs that you had during COVID, like some of them were wild, bro. Some of them were
yeah.
like tell them about them, bro. Like tell them.
So I was working at a warehouse. I had to do everything that everybody else did with just a normal manual jack while everybody had a forklift. And they're like, we'll certify you, man. We'll certify you. Had like 3 weeks of me trying to pull all these things out of these semis. They're like, hey, you're getting a little too slow and everything. I was like, come on, man, y'all need to certify me. So that didn't last long because I think Lubbock started going crazy at that time with COVID as well. And we had to start getting checked in and get our temps checked. And they started laying people off. So I go from there to working at the Covenant Hospital as an IT tech. I don't know how I got in there, and I just got in there as an IT tech, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna stick here.
Whoa, IT tech? No shit.
Heck yeah!
Damn.
I was like, we're starting you in the
Mhm.
call center, and somehow I got moved to all these crazy teams. I'm like, I'm gonna stick to it, and they lay people off.
God.
So I go to work for Germ Blast. It's a
Germ
Germ
blast.
blaster,
sanitizing
bro.
company. That was
I
crazy,
bet you they
man.
were booming.
Just
Oh,
go.
heck yeah! They had crazy
They're
hazard
blessed.
pay. They're based in
Is that
Lubbock.
are they still there?
Yeah. They do everything from just cleaning, like sanitizing people's workplaces to bio response for crime scenes. And during COVID, it was bio
Really?
response for COVID.
Man. Yeah, I
I
remember
was
we
watching
used to
because
get these shipments in of 5 gallon drums full of just sanitizer. And it was the wildest thing to me that we just had to carry 5 gallon like we would have like 10 or 15 of them at a time, and they'd be constantly walking around with those like those weed sprayers you use for your lawn, little pump ones.
Yeah.
They'd be walking around with those just spraying everything, and craziest thing. But
we had something similar like that in Germ Blast. It kind of looked like the backpack from Ghostbusters.
oh yeah, like a
Same
protective
colors,
vest.
Oh,
same shape, man. It had a little gun where you'd spray everything down. They had us with masks and everything.
did you wear a white suit?
No, we didn't get to wear a white suit. We had to wear
Ah,
these uh
It's tough.
they're like pants that nurses have that, when
Scrub?
blood and stuff gets on them.
Oh.
It's like a type of scrub, but it was still like a pant, like a cargo pant,
hmm.
Mm.
and some weird wonky polo. The only time we got white suits was whenever we ran into a location that had COVID.
Oh,
And
so
that
y'all
happened
would
to me
actually
once.
Ooh.
go to places that had COVID, and like,
Yeah, they had designated teams that went to go clean wherever there was
so
COVID.
y'all were like the Ghostbusters, but for like germs,
Heck yeah, we were the COVID busters.
the
The
COVID
COVID
busters.
busters.
Did you I have a question? Did you feel cool killing COVID
Every now and then, man,
at the
every now and
time?
then when I
In
got
that
to.
sense, were you like, no, I'm doing a good thing for the community?
Yeah, I think I
But
still
they
have my
hired you to do that. But
I did feel kind of cool whenever they gave me that. I don't know if y'all remember when they had the curfew going on and only essential people can be driving around
Oh yeah, I remember you had to
and
carry
going out.
a letter around. I remember
Hmm?
we got them from work, and yeah, I had to carry around a
that's
letter in my
crazy.
glove box of my car. That way, if I got pulled over at any point, that yeah, that would be
Did it
like,
ever
no,
happen?
no, it never happened. Like I
Did
don't
you
know if
ever,
that was just Lubbock or what,
what?
but
Did I would have posted it on the Snapchat. Be like, essential, dude.
I still have
just,
mine.
It was just, I was gonna say, it was just paper that said
My
that,
camera
like,
went off.
oh, your camera went off.
Yeah, my camera went off. I didn't even see. I was like listening to y'all, and I was like, "Oh shit, my camera went off." No, but I remember here in Denver City, they had a curfew one time, or they had a curfew, and I remember one time we broke the curfew, and they pulled us over right here in front of my house, and like all the cops showed up, and they're
Really?
like, "Are y'all aware that y'all are out past curfew?" And we're like, "Well, cars are zooming by, like literally, like we're like, dude, there's people out here. We're not the only ones." And I remember like right in front of my house, right in front of my house, those dudes are being jackasses. Like, I thought it was like, how is a curfew going to stop a pandemic? You know, like,
Well, I mean, the whole point is that
I mean,
it's
it's
trying to
meant
keep
to limit
people.
contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, people
yeah, okay,
home.
yeah.
I mean,
They had it at like midnight, which didn't make sense. There's almost nobody out at that time,
Yeah.
anyways.
that's a fair point.
It might have been being a hooligan then, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what was it? You could only have like you couldn't have any like group gatherings larger than like 5 people, I think. And
Yeah.
I remember I definitely broke that rule a couple times, but you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I
I
mean,
think we broke that
I
rule.
mean, that's
I
what
think we broke that rule multiple times,
people
bro.
people were going crazy. People were
Yeah.
going crazy. You remember people going crazy?
You know, I remember people would have
There
COVID
had to have been a
parties.
spike in divorces.
Oh, for sure.
Dude, COVID parties were crazy.
Yeah.
There's a spike in
Remember COVID
pregnancies too.
parties?
Well,
During
There
COVID,
was a spike in party.
everybody's home, just smashing
Dude.
papas, boys.
There's nothing.
That's all I
nothing
could
to
do.
How much do you love me? Imagine just the whole time.
but no, I remember during COVID,
This is
man,
crazy.
I blew through so much like TV on Netflix. It was crazy. Like I remember Tiger King, right? Is that what it was called? Or
Oh,
Bro,
that thing.
Yeah,
bro,
Tiger King, yeah.
Yeah.
Carol
bro.
Baskin.
I
Carol
totally
Jones.
forgot
Or
about
Carol,
Tiger King.
Carol
Yeah.
Baskin.
Yeah.
That bitch,
Carol
that
Baskin.
bitch Carol Baskin.
Killed her husband, she whacked him.
And you know what? I guarantee
Dude, I
you,
totally forgot about that.
if that show hadn't come out at like that time, I don't think it would have caught on like it did.
Nah, probably wouldn't
Bro,
have. Like,
wildfire, dude.
Yeah.
prime COVID TV, bro. Like, it's crazy to
Wow,
think
it's
that,
hilarious.
like, it's crazy to think that it's 5 years ago that we were there, bro. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, 5 years ago.
Oh,
But
Definitely a
it,
trip.
it lasted for a little bit though, right? Because I mean, when did things finally start kind of easing up? It was like mid 2021. What was it?
2022, maybe.
Yeah, I think by 2022 things finally started to seem a little bit
I
more
was
normal. I guess.
I was a year in probably to my job that I have now at AT&T, and I think that's around a year mark. Maybe they gave us an ultimatum: get the vaccine or have that. Oh, what was it called,
Get
dude?
fired.
Yeah, well, they let you go, or you can get a.
A stipend.
I can't think of it. No, you can get like a recommendation from like a doctor saying it's against your religion,
Oh, to
and you
not get the
wouldn't have
vaccine.
to get vaccinated. I don't know
Wow.
what it was called though. There's a name for it.
A doctor's note.
But yeah, some people did that.
It's
No,
probably like
not a
a
doctor's
what, like a
note.
medical
There's an
exemption.
official name. I guess so. I guess it'd be more of an exemption.
Yeah.
But you had to like keep wearing the mask if you did that route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's still people that wear like masks all around everywhere. Like
I
that.
mean,
I know
St.
that.
Louis, there's a lot of people that still wear masks,
I was gonna
especially
say
out in
I
public.
still see people in masks. Yeah. But
So, I mean, a lot of older people wear masks.
yeah, that's true.
You know,
Especially like if they go to
maybe
like a doctor's office, I always see people with a mask on there. But
Crazy when you see them driving by and they're still wearing the
Yeah.
mask in their car.
I
All
remember
by
that meme would
themselves.
go. They'd always that during prime COVID. I remember that meme would be like they'd be taking pictures of people with like their mask in the car. They're like, dude, why do
you
you have
remember
your mask?
Bernie?
Oh, I already
Bernie
forget.
Sanders meme?
Yeah.
He's just sitting fucking.
But Alan, do you
It's gonna be
remember
hilarious.
what the incentive was there at Walmart for us to get vaccinated?
Nothing.
I
Not
know
that I
one of them.
remember.
Well, I remember one of them was that we could take off our mask. We didn't have to wear our masks.
That's all I got, bro. That's all I got.
I'm
That was
pretty
one of
sure.
us.
I'm pretty sure there was some sort of like cash incentive though. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was something like that. Like maybe like $200. But if anyone in the chat
Might be
worked at Walmart, let us know if you remember anything, because I swear it was something like that. I think there was some sort of cash incentive.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I think AT&T's mindset was like, get it, or lose your job. I mean, I don't think they would ever pay us. I think they did pay to get it. Actually,
We'll see.
was that an incentive? They paid for your shot.
No, I thought the shot was free.
Well, I guess it was free, huh?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, it was free.
I think I went to Walgreens. I got both Pfizer's at Walgreens.
I got mine here in Denver City.
Oh, really? I went to the Lubbock. I don't know what it was, like the convention center, maybe. I don't know what we have there, but I went over there and a bunch of people waiting in the line to get their shots, and it took me like 20, 30 minutes. But no, I remember doing it that way. But yeah, I remember at one point there was a talk about that if you didn't get your vaccine at a certain point in time, that they would end up like firing you. But I don't think that ever went through because I think that's what happened. Is that it was like a big legal debate nationwide if people could do that, and I think they ended up determining that that was like not legal or ethical. So I think all of that just kind of dropped and fell to the wayside. But crazy to think that that
I don't know
was
about
going
that.
about what.
About what you just said. I think your employer can make you do whatever if you want to work for them. I don't
I
think
mean,
that's a.
if they're not a publicly traded company, yes. Like if they're a private company, but I feel like a publicly traded company might be different.
I'm pretty sure I got that shot, dog. I don't know. We both two multi-billion-dollar companies. I mean, I don't know.
It's a fair point.
It hit me right here twice, man. It hit me twice. Remember, man.
But I never went back for my boosters or anything.
I never did either.
Yeah. Dude, I was scared to just get the basic shot, dude.
Honestly, I was scared to go without it. I was scared to go without it.
How did you feel going?
Every booster is how they say.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get every booster, which is kind of insane to me.
How did you feel going into there, like when you knowing that there was COVID in there, bro? Like knowing that there was COVID in these buildings, knowing that you were going in there, like multiple people having COVID, like you were literally sent in there to probably catch COVID, but you go in there to kill it. Like, what were your thoughts going in there? Were you scared? Were you nervous? Were you like so paranoid at the end, or like what were you feeling?
Dude, straight up, man, I was scared because that's when people were getting intubated and everything, dying left and right. I was like, I don't know if this pay is worth it. And then afterwards, I'd be like, all right, we need to get sprayed down after we would take that white suit off. I'd get home and have my girl spray me down with more Lysol. I'd put like my clothes in a bag, like outside my apartment.
Yeah.
Like I got naked outside my apartment before I walked in because I was paranoid, man.
Oh.
Yeah, I was paranoid, man, and scared during those moments.
You were like walking into a war zone. I mean, I guess every day you were at work?
Fair, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'd get on the news every day, and Fauci's there, like, make sure that you wear a mask, and that's all it was for like 2-3 years, dude.
Yeah.
And it was it's nuts.
It'd be very terrifying, man.
Maybe 1-2 years. But yeah, having to go into that environment. I remember there's times where I wouldn't want to touch anything. Somebody coughed, break your neck, you hit one of these.
Yeah, you'd be like,
all
right, bro, you gotta go.
Those schizo twitches.
Like, I'm telling you, but it'd be awkward because you're both staring. Somebody has to like just go back. Yeah, I mean it was.
I mean, I know.
The only bonus of COVID was the mask because you could hide your pretty much poker face.
Yeah,
it's funny because we talk about this a bit, but at Walmart for the longest time, I mean, everyone was wearing masks, and I remember once we got to take our masks off, we were like, "Oh, I had no clue that you actually look like that under there." Because every single day you'd see them with the mask, and you'd only see so much of their face, and it's just kind of funny that I don't know.
People would learn you were ugly.
Right. I know.
you were learning that
they'd go, oh.
You were.
Dude,
I remember I looked at
the
Marcus.
biggest thing was the nose, dog. The nose was probably one of the like, oh, look really good, fucking honker. You're like, oh, like, oh my god.
I remember remember the
you
first time
can't do that. So you're like, oh yeah, you.
I remember the first time I saw Marcus without a mask. I was like, God damn, this guy's fucking ugly.
Oh, see,
I was like,
Alan, we had seen
fuck.
each
No
other without a
wonder
mask several times.
the first time.
What do you mean? You never even
Yeah,
wore your mask. You always wore it like right here.
yeah, because I didn't give a you know,
it's
you
like,
know.
yeah, you fucking selfish fool.
Yeah.
Fucking selfish, dude.
Hey, I ended up getting my vaccines and I didn't have to wear it. People were jealous, but I still did it.
Yeah,
Got
I mean,
naturally
dude.
vaccinated.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, I mean, so
I
so
don't.
when did you get COVID? Did you have it before? Had it
Uh,
like serious, or was it just a one and done? Like you had it, and then it just got
from as
really
far as
bad
I know,
really
man,
fast.
as far as I know, I only caught it that one time I got sick. If I did catch it before, I was asymptomatic. I caught it whenever COVID Delta was starting to become a big
Oh,
wildfire.
yeah, I remember like those strands, like those. They're
Can
coming
you,
out with strands.
yeah, new strand. Yeah, I mean, can you kind of just explain what you were doing when you caught it? Like, were you like what was your job? Did you still have the same job or?
Oh no, I had gone through like three more jobs from that germ blast job. At that time when I caught it, man, I was working as a jailer for the
Oh.
county.
Jailer. So you,
And
wow, a jailer.
yeah,
Oh,
I was a dispatcher and a
was COVID
jailer. Go ahead.
was COVID bad in jail? Were you going into jail?
When I
Like,
caught
did
it,
you work
yeah,
in the jail?
I worked in it.
Oh,
So at
I
that
remember we,
point, oh my bad. But at that point, were they like releasing like some of the like I feel like at one point they were like releasing inmates that were like under certain like whatever crime they'd committed. If it was in a certain class, they'd release them because of COVID. Was that happening there, or am I making this up? I could be making it up. I don't know.
I did hear about that happening in other places where I was working at. We were more like a jailhouse. Like other jails would send their inmates to our jail,
Oh, okay, I got you.
and we know we'd constantly have new ones coming in, some going out.
Man,
It I don't know how they got released or anything. I just know we kept getting new people all the time because that's what we had going on with all the other places.
so was COVID for inmates bad? Like, were they treated differently when they got COVID? Or no, that's kind of like
Um,
I'm
so they
curious
would
on
get to
how it
go to the
was.
doctors. You know, they'd go and get their checkups whenever they started showing symptoms. And at certain points, we'd have pods just quarantine. Like they got quarantined. They wouldn't get their gym time, their daily gym time, their time to go get their haircuts, from what I remember. And then at one point, the entire jail had caught in COVID, including like the workers and everything. And I remember that week that I caught it, I had worked with two coworkers that I remember, and then they had texted our boss, were like, "Hey, we caught COVID." I was like, "Oh crap, here we go." And then that same week, my parents caught COVID, and my girlfriend caught COVID. And I was like, "Oh crap." And then I tested positive for COVID. You know, I had no symptoms for like the whole 2 week quarantine. I was like, "All right, this is gonna be pretty smooth." And like the last 3 days of quarantine, man, I started getting these bad fevers, horrible body aches. And I remember one day I got on my bike because I was like, I'm gonna go, try to sweat this out and everything.
yeah,
No, that the next day I caught like COVID pneumonia and then I got hospitalized and it just went downhill from there.
man.
So as it was getting bad, did you get were you starting to get scared? When did you really start to fear the worst? I guess is what I'm asking.
When I caught it or before I had caught it.
Now, let's say when did you start to get real scared? I guess is what I'm saying. Like, was it like when you finally started having symptoms and they weren't going away? Was it getting bad increasingly fast?
It kind of hit me like,
Just
if like day and night. I had no symptoms, so I wasn't scared at all till the fevers kicked in. Then 2 days later, I started feeling worse, and that's when I'm like, damn, I think I'm kind of screwed. Whenever I got hospitalized, Because I mean, you can ask Alan. I'd never had any kind of health issues before. I was
No,
just fat, dude. That was it.
it was crazy because it was like out of like everyone that had COVID, that got COVID, the ones that they were like really worried about was like I remember because I was the first one out of our family to catch COVID, and like everyone was worried what happened to Christian was going to happen to me just because I growing up I had a lot of like I had asthma and I had like all these breathing problems growing up, and so everyone thought. But I mean, I had exactly what Christian was thinking he was going to have. Oh, I was gonna like when I caught it, it wasn't that bad. So when Christian caught it, I don't think anyone really thought that anything was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then I remember them telling me that y'all were in quarantine, and then I think one morning they call me and they're like, "Hey, Christian got hospitalized last night," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" At this point, I'm like, "Okay, something's not right if he's hospitalized." And then I think like the next morning they call me and then they're like, "Hey, his lung collapsed."
Yeah,
Hospitalized where? Was it in Denver City? Was it here in Lubbock?
Never
it
said
was in Denver City.
Yeah.
So
So to continue where
were
Alan,
you still pretty conscious? Were you still pretty like conscious when you were hospitalized, or were you kind of just like in and out, like a fog
uh,
person?
I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant to get you to understand it.
Yeah. Go
So
for it.
when Alan was talking about it, that they had called in that I was hospitalized. When I was only hospitalized because my oxygen saturation was about 88, which is below the normal. So they were just giving me oxygen as a treatment, and then that weird IV treatment that they were offering people for whoever had COVID. And I do remember the next day because I had this cough that was happening, and throughout the night, the next morning after being hospitalized, I had woken up, and I woke up because I was coughing, right? But I had like this weird pain in my chest and my throat felt like I wanted to blow up. I remember the nurses walking in and let me turn on my light. There we go. The nurses had walked in and everything. They use, I don't know what they're called, that the one that they put in their ears and they start listening to your lungs.
Oh,
a
the
stethoscope.
stethoscope. Yeah.
Yeah, that. I remember she looked at me and she made like this guy's dead face. And I remember seeing that and I was like, am I okay? Because I could still talk, man. Like I wasn't aware, that my lung collapsed, that I was on the verge of death. I was still pretty cognitive. I just felt like shit. That was it. Like, I'm having a hard time breathing. It feels like I just ran a fucking marathon. And that nurse looking at me like, oh, this guy's fucked. And I had asked her, what's wrong? She's like, oh, nothing. I need to go get the doctor. I was like, oh, okay. And I remember my doctor walks in and he does the same thing. Then he looks at me. He doesn't say anything at that moment. And then all these nurses started coming in. And I remember they're like, okay, we're going to have to do emergency surgery on you. And I was like, emergency? What? Like, yeah. Then my doctor's like, so your lung collapsed. I'm going to have to put a chest tube in you to get you stabilized again. And I remember seeing them bring that pan with all the little, what's it called? The scalpels and everything.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, all right, lift your arm up. They had me lift my arm like this. So this is the side it happened on. And I got my chest tube. And I remember he gave me a shot. He's like, this is just to kill the pain. This was just for, so I don't feel him cut me open
Hmm.
and everything. And then right after that shot, they get this tube. Oh, dude, that was horrible, man. Like I felt the tube come into me and everything. They had to do it twice
Why
because they had given
twice?
him uh the first tube they gave him had a smaller diameter. He needed one with a bigger diameter.
Wow.
So they yanked that shit out. They put the
Like
bigger one
soldering a
in.
hole?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I felt that coming in again. But
Mm.
whenever he put it in, the correct one that he needed, I remember I coughed and that tube. Cause I was looking at that tube because I was situated like this. I had a nurse holding my hand so I don't like, elbow the doctor as he's doing everything he's doing. They
Yeah.
had me just like that. I remember looking down and I had given a cough and you see all this like blood and shit go out the tube. and it's doing this weird noise like every time I coughed. Dude, the amount of pressure relief that I felt during that moment was amazing. And then I still wasn't aware, how bad my situation was. I was like, oh, this is probably like a couple day thing, I'm gonna be okay. And then I remember my doctor coming in asking about that I'm gonna be transferred out to another hospital. I was like, transferred out? I was like, yeah, so they can better take care of you of your situation. I was like, okay, that's when it hit me right there. I was like, damn, I'm kind of fucked right now. They're saying they can't save me here. They're gonna have to send me somewhere else. And I was like trying to think on the bright side and everything. I was like, well, I get to go on a helicopter and everything. I get my
Oh,
first
you
helicopter
went on a
ride.
helicopter?
Oh no, man. They had a jet come in.
What?
The AeroCare did not send a helicopter. They sent a jet, bro.
Wow.
That was my first plane ride ever, man. It was crazy. I remember them wheeling me out. I was like, oh shit, well, where's the helicopter? Because I didn't know where I was going. And then they're driving towards the airport, a little airport in Denver City. And I was like, oh shit, that's a jet. I'm like, I'm really in trouble right now, man.
Man. So at what point? So you said you were already in the hospital, right? How long did it take for them to identify that you had that collapsed lung?
That same day, that same morning, whenever I woke up with pain, like it woke me up whenever it collapsed because I had this machine called the BiPAP.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the medical terms or anything for it, but it's basically like a CPAP on steroids. They would put that on me at night to, get my body to, because my lungs were having a trouble doing the gas exchange, getting oxygen in and sending carbon dioxide out.
Yeah.
So they had me on that, and I had woken up because, I coughed, but it wasn't because I was coughing because I needed a cough or anything. I had coughed because, my lung had just popped right there, and all that pressurized air was filling me up. So um, to answer your question, they discovered it that same moment
Man.
because it happened right when the nurse was there.
So this was all just a pretty rapid, I guess, experience for you from getting to the hospital to getting the chest tubes to going on the jet. So where did they take you? Did they take you to Lubbock or?
They flew me to San Antonio
Oh, okay.
to,
You know what?
Jeez
I do remember Alan
Louise.
saying that. Yeah.
Wow.
it was a Baptist Medical Center. That was the first hospital I was at.
So you were conscious the whole time. Am I correct? I mean, the whole
Yeah, I
ride.
was conscious the
You
whole
were
time.
still. So was your mind just a million miles an hour?
Bro, if I'm being honest, I was trying to stay as calm as I can
Yeah.
because, I was trying not to think on the negative. Like, I didn't want to think like, oh, this might be it. Like, this is where I'm gonna die. So I would try to. I always like to make jokes, and I know you and Alan know that. I always like to goof around and everything. I was trying to do that with like nurses on the plane. I remember on that jet, like what are they called, paramedics?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to have conversations with them and everything. They're like, you might want to not talk too much. I was like, come on, man. I need to stay like I need to keep my mind from going to the negatives
Yeah.
because I'm first time anything hospital related was all happening really fast. It's the first time I ever stayed in the hospital. Boom, a couple days later, getting emergency surgery. Never had any kind of surgery before. Never had any kind of issues. I I was pretty conscious the entire time, man.
Man.
Sorry, man, I'm
Wow.
rambling right now.
And
No, you're
Alan,
good. No, this is what we need. I
Alan
want to
did.
know. I mean, this. We have you here to know.
Yeah, for
I want to
sure.
learn.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest part about this is just really hearing your story and your experience because, I mean, you did go through the thick of COVID. You had that experience with it. But Alan, from your perspective, I mean, what were you kind of thinking? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
did
it's
you know
true.
about this like as soon as Christian went into the hospital, or kind of how did that work for you?
Um, I just remember like the morning of, like they called me and they're like, "Hey, well, like he's not looking too good." And so like that morning of, they told me like his lung collapsed. And so I'm like, "Oh shit." And I'm at work. I'm at work there at Walmart, and I'm like, I told Mike, which was our manager at the time, I'm like, "Mike, I gotta go. Like I have to go." I was like, "My brother's in the hospital, his lung collapsed." And like the face on like Mike knows me. Like Mike knew me as like a lively, like I was always like when I was serious, like he was like, and when he saw my face, he was like no, go, like go. And so like I get in my truck, I don't even bother looking, like going, stopping anywhere. And the whole time I'm driving up there, because when they call me, they're like, wait, by that time I'm taken out, they're already telling him, okay, they're gonna take you somewhere, they're gonna fly you out somewhere. Um, so the whole time I am driving over there, I'm looking up at the sky, like illusional, trying to see if I see a helicopter or like a plane or something, thinking I'm gonna see something. And I'm like, okay, like maybe I'm gonna beat the plane, or maybe I'm gonna beat the helicopter, maybe I'll beat it. And I'm driving over there like 98 as fast as my truck can goes, and I'm like hauling ass, and I make it. And then I get there, and everyone's at the hospital, and I'm like, okay. And then they told me like, no, okay, well they haven't taken him yet. I'm like, okay. And so uh just the look on everyone's faces, like everyone's just kind of like, and so like this isn't something that our family had ever really had to go through or anything experience. Um, but I just remember they told me, they're like, well, you can go ahead and go and see him before they take him. And I'm like, and at the time I was like, okay, I mean, I need to, I need a man, I need a man up, and because I was scared. I mean, at that moment I
Yeah.
was scared. I was like, I don't, obviously you don't want to see your brother in that situation, but I was like, okay, no, like I mean, obviously you're not wanting to think in your head
And is
like,
this in San Antonio or is this in Denver City?
and this is Never City. This is before they flew him off.
So this is before they flew. Okay, I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wasn't sure.
So I'm walking down to where they have like the COVID patients, and I see Christian's girlfriend Jessica walk out. She walks out. She's obviously she's emotional, clearly, and I just see the look on our face, and I'm like, and like everyone's look on their face was just telling me like, okay, like I mean, obviously, like they weren't trying to scare Christian, but I mean the aspect of the situation was like, oh fuck, like it's pretty bad. And so I asked the nurse, and I'm like, okay, well, like how's he doing? And she's like, well, he's not doing very well. And I'm like, okay. She's like, we're gonna go ahead and have to have you, like they made me strap the whole thing on, like strap all this right here, strap right here, gloves, whole apron, everything. And in the moment, I don't really remember. I was in there maybe like 10, 20 minutes. Um, and I think I've mentioned this to y'all, like the conversation between me and Christian that we had, it was almost like it felt like, hey, this might be the last time we talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like a goodbye. Is that what
It,
kind of how it felt
it,
like?
it might have been, it could have been. And the last thing he did tell me, the last thing he told me was, take care of our sister, take care of our sister. And I'm glad that he didn't go anywhere. I'm glad he's still here. Obviously, I'm glad he's
Well, I mean,
here.
how are you feeling at that point in the story? I mean, how are you feeling at that moment when you leave that room? How do you feel?
When I
What's
mean,
going through your head?
when your brother tells you, take care of your sister, take care of our sister. I mean, you're kind of preparing for him not to be here no more. You're preparing. In my head, I'm like, he knows he's thinking probably to himself, okay, this is it. And even though he's not trying to scare himself and he's not trying to scare me, but I mean, just the relationship that me and Christian have, it wasn't a goodbye. Hey, we didn't want it to be a goodbye, but it was a goodbye. It was a goodbye with us still hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Um,
Man,
I get
that's pretty tough
I,
stuff, man.
I get pushed out. all the nurses finally start to come in. They're getting him ready. Um, they let us know they're taking him to San Antonio. Um, they're looking. My aunt is looking for flights because Christian's gonna get there. By the time one of us gets to San Antonio, 6 hour ride, 6 hour drive, 7 hour drive. By the
Freedom
time
by
we get to San
himself.
Antonio, he's gonna get there by himself. So someone's looking. Everyone's looking for a plane ticket to get to San Antonio. We find one in Midland. Um, and they're trying to send me. I got like 45 minutes to try to make it to Midland Airport, like maybe like an hour to try to make it to Midland Airport, to get to Midland Airport and then fly to San Antonio. But then they're like, it's just he's not gonna make it. That I wasn't gonna make it in time. So by the time Christian would have landed in San Antonio, I would have been there. But I didn't make it. I wasn't gonna make it. So they were just like, no. So they wheeled Christian out in the ambulance. By that time, I remember Christian's eyes were like closed because I could tell he was just exhausted. He was just like, and I remember them loading him up in the ambulance, and then we followed him behind in the ambulance. And then, but just seeing, like, I mean, if you've been to Denver City, I mean, out of us four, the three of us, I mean, seeing a jet land at the airport and then fly off from that airport, it's almost like you would never imagine a jet would ever land here, or in any sort of situation like that. You know that just seeing him finally go into that jet and then finally fly off, it was kind of just sat with me at the moment. I'm like, okay, I don't know when I'm gonna see him again, or if I'm gonna see him again.
Going to war. Yeah. That was
What it felt
probably
like.
it was like going to war.
And I mean,
Just I mean, so like you get there, what time are you leaving immediately going to San Antonio? Do you wait a couple hours? Do you pack and leave? I mean,
I
when did you
didn't.
start hitting San Antonio?
I didn't make it to San Antonio till. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to San Antonio until after Christian was intubated, which he'll tell you about it. Um, I didn't get to see Christian till I didn't get to finally speak to Christian till I don't even know how long afterwards. But I got to see firsthand 2 or 3 times when I went to the hospital to visit him. The first time just going in there and like it was just surreal, like seeing all that. But I mean, I'll let Christian tell you the rest of it. I mean, like getting there. And
Let's hear it, big man.
All right, man. Let me get my composure. Hearing Alan speak like that, man. I'm sorry, man. I didn't want to make you feel like that during that moment.
nah, bro. I mean,
No, it's just
at the end of the day. I mean, like it's like you don't want to say goodbye. You don't ever want to say goodbye, but you never know. You never know what the world has, what the world has for you, and that could have been our goodbye. But luckily, it wasn't. Like I said, luckily, it wasn't our goodbye.
thank God it
Is
wasn't,
this the
man.
first time like y'all hearing each other's perspectives on this, or had y'all talked
Yeah,
about this before?
this is my first time hearing it.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is probably his
Wow,
first
so
time.
this is it's
man,
pretty raw, huh? Yeah, I could feel it, man. This is like pretty intense
Yeah,
stuff.
but
Different
I
sides
think
of the
I think
coin, you know.
I think I've told Marcus this, and I think I've told you this, Ivan. Like I'm glad Christian, made it through and pushed it through because like like that promise that he made me, or that that I made to him here when he was like, take care of our sister, take care of our sister. A part of me would have been, thank God he is here because like a part of me is like, if he wasn't here, I don't know if I would have been able to hold on to that promise. I don't know if I would have been able to. Not that I didn't want to, but it's not that I don't know if I could have. I don't know if I would have been able to do it. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's one of those things, kind of like stepping up and filling in those shoes, and thank God you did not have to do that. Luckily we get to have this podcast here and get to talk with both of you about it. But I mean, yeah, I can't even begin to imagine what that must have felt like. I mean, I remember talking with you about it, and you would, give me updates here and there, but I mean, you can't even really fathom exactly what is going on through anyone's head at that point. And yeah, definitely powerful stuff.
Yep.
It's
So like Christian, how does it go from there? I mean, so you get to San Antonio, just all flashing,
So
just all just.
I'll say this: before we took off in that jet, they loaded me up on morphine. Have you ever had morphine before?
I haven't.
Yeah, I have not. Never say I have a
That
juice like that. No.
that shit is crazy. Dude, it feels like they throw fire into your body and then you can't feel anything anymore and then you feel high. So they give that to me right before we take off. I guess to keep me stable and everything while we're up there. First plane ride, by the way. I don't know if I said that already. My mind's going a lot right now.
It's tragic first plane ride. That's terrible circumstances. Yeah.
It was a hard first plane ride, man.
I'm sure that takeoff must have been like the landing. Those are like never smooth, you know?
Dude, the takeoff was crazy because I've never been on a plane, and they say planes you can feel when they take off, but this was a jet, and bro, I'm already like laying down on a bed, right? Here, let me see if I can mimic it, bro. It was like boom, whenever they take off, the whole bed moves and everything. I was like, oh crap, like it was wild, but it was a beautiful sight for a little bit because got to see what it's like to be above the clouds.
Yeah.
It took like
It's kind of like
42 to.
calming when you're up there.
Mm-hmm. It is, man. And if you look up, like you can almost see space and everything. Like it was a trippy experience. Um, it took like 45 minutes to get to San Antonio from Denver City. Like,
Yeah, no, like literally, like that's why I said like I would have not made it. I like even
Yeah.
if I would have tried to catch that flight in Midland, like I would have made it like maybe 2 hours after he landed.
Yeah. 45
So
minute
like,
man,
flight, man.
uh,
it was a long 45 minutes,
I
man.
was
So
gonna
we
say, I bet
land.
it felt like it.
Shoot, man, we land to a certain part of San Antonio I've never seen before, man. Like it was central San Antonio. They have another ambulance take me. That was a horrible ride, man. Like potholes up the ass
Ugh.
while you're strapped down and everything, and all you feel is all the bumps. And I just have a fresh wound right there. I was like, this fucking
Oh.
sucks. And the paramedic was all like, "Hey man, you want another shot of morphine? And you look like you're in pain." I was like, "No, I don't want another shot of morphine."
What? I would have been like,
Bro, that shit made you feel wonky, man. It's like, how do I even describe it? Have you
what's
ever
the
been
pain
high?
scale we talking about? Definitely.
are you
Imagine
high
that,
right
but
now?
like it's on steroids, man. Like it's an instant high and then numbness right after that. Yeah, no, I said fuck no, man. I don't want another shot of morphine. I did
So I
ask
mean,
for it
what's
way
the pain
later.
scale? What pain scale are you in? Like, are you feeling anything? Are
I'm
you
at a
not feeling
solid 10, man, in the
anything?
pain scale. Like I can feel this shit where it's at. I don't feel the cut because they gave me that numbing medicine, but I can feel the whole tube in me. And I didn't know you could feel your lungs. Apparently you can. And my right lung, I could feel it, man. It felt sore, like a muscle ache when you have that lactic acid because you got to that last rep and you're trying to push more. That's what my lung felt like. The other one just felt like it was a fucking just a sack of air just chilling there. Ah. We get to the hospital, man. This is my first time being in like an actual hospital, and there's like an army of nurses. They push me through. I'm looking left and right. There's all kinds of people like intubated. Like everywhere I saw, there's all these people with like tubes in their mouth and they're knocked the fuck out. Um, let me catch a drink of water.
Man, so
The
Alan,
H2.
I mean, during all of this, like, how are you able to function in like day to day life, knowing that Christian's there in San Antonio, or, I mean, even when he was on the way there? I mean, how does that kind of work for you? Like, how do you process all of this and still go about your day to day life?
Oh man, I mean, y'all were there firsthand to witness it. Some of it, majority of it. I do remember days were going by the days were going by a whole lot longer. Um, everyone at work, was like, you're not. And at this point, everyone at work could tell that something was off with me. Something was clearly not right. Something was Alan's not being Alan. Alan, that's the main thing that I heard at work was Alan's not being Alan.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was like, I mean, like, I remember telling people, like, hey, look, this is what I'm going through right now. Like, I just, um, and at the time, that's when I had Wendy. I met Wendy and I met you and I had Ivan with me, and I remember Wendy being a big part of it.
Shout out Wendy.
Shout out Wendy. Wendy was a big part of it. She was one of the she I credit her and you guys a lot for helping me go through it because at the time I remember not knowing how to deal with my emotions, not knowing how to express my emotions, not really. I remember thinking to myself, okay, I can't cry. I remember coming home and everyone's crying, everyone's emotional, everyone's like sitting there bawling their eyes out. And I'm sitting there like holding tears and holding my hold like not saying anything, not just quiet, just like holding whatever I can, like holding. I have like my strands, holding everything in as much as I can. And my mom looks at me and she's like it's okay to cry. Like just because you cry, that doesn't mean that you're weak. And I'm like, no, no, like. And in my head, I'm like thinking to myself, okay, I have to be the strong one for everyone else right now. Like I have to be, because I look to my mom, I look to my aunts, and I look to all of them, and they're all emotional. They're all destroyed. They're all distraught.
Yeah.
Their day to day lives are in shambles right now. So I'm like, okay, if I can't get my day going, then how can I expect them to keep going?
Yeah.
So at the time, I had to learn how to deal with everyday day to day anxiety. I remember talking to you all a lot about that. How I dealt with that and how how I mean, but every single day, I just remember telling myself, every day it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. I'm gonna get some good news one day, someday. And I think finally going and making the trip to see Christian. Um, at that point, he was intubated, and I didn't get to talk to him. Um, just walking in there and just even just being there with him, I did talk to him. I don't think he remembers, obviously, but I I think after that, after I came back home, I think my every day to day life got better in a way. Not better, but I mean, my heart was a little bit at peace, just knowing that I got to see him
Man,
and that they're
it was
they were
manageable. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but still, I mean, everyone at the time, I was thinking, I have to be strong for everyone else. I have to be the stone for everyone else in this family. And I think I remember telling you all like about that. Like
Yeah.
I had to be that person because like no one could take on that. No one by themselves could take it on. And I felt like I did a great job, trying to do it. But it all got to me at some points, and every day to day life during all that though was crazy. I try not to think about those times, but it was tough. But like I said, I
So,
mean, I'm
I
glad.
mean, man to man, I mean, did you ever have a cry, behind the scenes?
Oh
You
yeah,
cry with other
yeah,
people?
yeah.
I
I,
mean,
I it would be a cry in my room by myself. Um, I would catch myself crying on the way home from work. I would just really when I was on my own, when I was by myself, when I was alone. At that point, I felt alone sometimes. Um, but in my head, I was like, I have to, I can't stay in this world. I can't stay in this bubble of like, okay, because I mean, I have a brother that's trying to fight for his life. He's not gonna want to come back to me in shambles. That's not the brother that he wants to see when he wakes up. He wants to see the brother that was there, happy and grateful for him being alive. And that's my thoughts. Those were my thoughts at the moment. And But every day-to-day life, to answer your question though, like day-to-day life was
Hey,
just
that's like that's a ton of pressure, man. That's a lot that I feel like he would have accepted you either or, like
yeah,
it
no,
having to like. I mean, and I'm guilty as much as everybody else, when it comes to emotions too. I probably would have done the same thing. It's just like get a little older, and now you probably don't cry by yourself or like for me, I cry like one on one with people now. I guess that's probably the most comfortable I get now. But I mean, I feel like I can definitely relate to that because I would have done the same thing. But like now, as I've gotten older, I just know like that's not as healthy of a thing to do.
yeah, no, I
Would
mean
you
like
have
when
changed it now? I mean, would you have
oh,
definitely changed it?
I think yeah, way much. Like I mean, I would have done it way different. Like I think I just would have. I think I would have leaned more into y'all. I would have leaned on y'all more, knowing how I was feeling. Like I mean, like I said, I still credit Wendy so much because Wendy really taught me how to show my emotions. You know that it was okay to cry, that it was okay to show, hey, I'm hurting right now. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go from here. It's okay to feel like that. Um, and if I could tell myself that 5 years ago, I would, or 4 years ago, or however long it was. But it was just a learning experience, and a lot of that pent up emotion, I feel like sometimes it's still there sometimes. Um, but then I just remember, like, I'm just grateful to have my brother here, because at the end of the day, I mean, he's the one that went through it. He's the one that went through the hardships. He's the one that went through, and he's still going through.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll go back to you, Christian. I mean,
I
I
mean,
go off on
so
a tangent
so
there,
tell
but
tell us more about when you the last memories leading up to when you got intubated, bro.
So the last memories I had right before I got intubated, when I got to San Antonio, man, I had I had insomnia. Like I didn't sleep for those couple days that I remember. I was awake like 24/7. And man, the last memory I had was, damn dude, I don't even remember is I was gonna send Alan a funny YouTube video that had came across that we used to watch when we were little. It's those Naruto videos when it had come up on YouTube. I was gonna send him that and I was gonna call my girl and tell everybody good night and everything, and I was
Oh
out,
yeah,
man.
he had his phone. He still had his phone at that moment.
Yeah,
you just kind of like it was just like boom. That
it
was
just
it. That's
boom.
all you
So I
remember?
finally got to me. It was like I finally got to go to sleep because I was trying to go to sleep for like 3 days at this point,
Jeez, 3 days.
and yeah, I was awake for 3 days straight trying to go to sleep. Couldn't sleep, man. I was so uncomfortable because I could feel that shit in me,
Yeah.
and then my left side's all sore. My back is starting to hurt because that's the longest I've ever been on a bed. They would not let me move. I could not, I couldn't do anything. Like they're like you have to stay in the bed. You gotta this whole time, man, like, I couldn't use the restroom or anything. They put a fucking, what's it called, a catheter in me. Painful. I don't recommend. Uh, had me shitting on a pan. Like they would not let me get up out of the bed, man. This
Mm.
this was horrible. And I finally knock out. But I didn't knock out because I was exhausted. Okay, well no, yeah, I was exhausted. That's what knocked me out. But my lungs failed at a certain point, and I just had so much carbon dioxide in me. And to me, I had just finally got to go to sleep. It was October when I went to sleep. They intubated me. I didn't know I was intubated. I didn't know I was going through anything. I was just taking a nap. I finally got to rest. I remember waking up, and when I woke up, man, whole different ceiling, had all kinds of tubes coming out of me. I had a chest tube in me at this point as well, another chest tube, but taking my blood out and cleaning it, adding oxygen to it, and bringing it right back in. I had a trach in. I have all these scars. I don't know if y'all could see them.
Probably have to get closer. Oh, I see that one though.
Yeah. And I woke up paralyzed. I could only move my head, couldn't move my hands, couldn't move my body. I couldn't talk because I had a trach in, and I was just confused. I couldn't even see, man. I don't know. Alan can tell you during those moments. They said my eyes were like looking like apart and shit.
Yeah, no, his
Because
eyes were like when before his eyes were
I was
like
looking
that.
two different ways, man.
Yeah.
And so, what was the time frame from that? Like, I mean, you said October, but I mean, what did that
It,
time frame look like from whenever you went to sleep to when you finally woke up? I mean,
so when I went to sleep, it was like, oh, I don't remember exactly the date, but it was before October 20th. That's when I had gone to sleep.
mm,
I wake up and it's almost at the end of November.
man,
Oh
And
my
to me, I was
gosh.
just out for a little bit and, waking up, new environment. I remember this nurse, I forgot her name, but she was all excited when she saw me wake up. She's like, "You're awake." That's all I remember. And I remember going back to sleep again and it's fixing to be New Year's. Like my memory's shot during those moments because all medicine they had pumping into my body, man. Uh during that time,
So I mean,
that's when
what were they doing on you during that? Like, what conditions were you in? Like,
critical. I was basically on life support.
critical.
I was on life support for a
Really?
while. That's what that chest tube thing was. It's called ECMO.
mm,
They, I don't, it's basically used for life support in people, man, but they're using it to put oxygen back into my body because my lungs were not working. That trach they had in me, they had like a shit ton of oxygen going in. I had all kinds of medications being pumped into me. They were trying to take me off of, they were working me down on all the medicine they used to put me into a coma when I got intubated, while giving me more medicines to combat whatever my body was going through. It was basically an experiment the entire time trying to keep me alive because COVID Delta was just constantly doing something different in my body. And basically, the doctors were there, was just trying to treat the symptoms as they came while slowly trying to get me back to functioning.
jeez,
Man,
it's
I got a
a word. There's no words for that. I have no
yeah,
words to
it's
explain.
heavy.
I got a picture, man, of, I don't know if y'all can see it. That tube that they had in my chest, they had in my legs, getting the main arteries in my legs. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
it's
wow,
huge.
Yeah.
And it got bigger when they put on my chest. It was about this long when they pulled it out. Like that shit felt wonky. And every couple of days they would change it out to a new machine. And dude, that shit would feel weird because, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like you lost a lot of blood at rapidly right there. I had a lot of blood transfusions as well during this time. Like, damn,
so
PTSD kicking in.
how long were you in the hospital? Like, I guess from that being in Denver City all the way through San Antonio. How long was that in total?
About a quarter of a year from all
Months.
the way to February when I was released.
Man,
October 2021 to February 2022.
Gosh, dude, it's almost half a year.
yeah.
It's insane. Oh gosh. So, I mean, so when you wake up, I mean, how are you feeling then? Are you just like, do you like wake up and you're conscious, or you wake up and you slowly like, kind of like maybe like start, looking around, realizing that you're, you know, I mean, what's that even like? I don't even know how to form a question to.
So that first one, when I woke up, the one I told you about where I was all confused and everything, that was the first time I can remember waking up. I woke up like, just like how y'all would wake up right out of bed. all normal, thinking normal, but I was confused because I remember I had like an itch on my head because at this point I hadn't showered in like 2 months because I was in that hospital bed and I was like, dude, my fucking head is itchy. I didn't know where I was at. I thought they just moved me rooms and everything. I was like, oh, a new room, and they finally got me away from that window where the sun keeps fucking burning me and shit. I remember I'm like, I'm doing that because I'm like, my arm wouldn't move. I was like, oh no, what's happening? I try to I opened my mouth to, try to call for a nurse or something. And I was like, nothing, man. I was like, oh, that's when I started realizing, I'm kind of fucked right now. I hope this isn't permanent. I had so much going through my head at that moment. Like, fuck, dude. Anything and everything you probably think of. I thought about it during those moments. And then uh I start getting all loopy. And then it's just like constant in and out for about a month. Or I'm there and then it's like I'm only partially there for a while and then I'm there partially there.
Man.
I
So
don't know if that makes
that's
sense.
crazy. Yeah,
Um,
I mean that kind of makes sense.
I mean, so
Like when you're heavily medicated, you're kind of just in and out.
leading up to when you got released, bro, like what were your, I mean, because I remember leading up to when you got released. I remember when they brought you home, the story was kind of crazy of when they brought you home, when you ran out of oxygen, remember?
Yeah. So it sounds crazy talking about that and everything because I'm not on oxygen right now. I do
Yeah.
have my machine over there because I gotta use it to go to sleep. Uh, Basically, I had to learn how to be an adult again
Man.
after finally getting out of the ICU. Like, learn how to be an adult, man. I had to learn how to walk, how to learn how to use my hands again. I had to learn how to swallow at one point as well. Like they were,
Building the muscles back up,
yeah.
motor actions.
Uh, to put it in perspective, I had weighed 280 pounds whenever I got sick. I was really fat. When I woke up, I had weighed 167. Like I had no muscle mass on me, man. I was just like bones and fat. Like the only thing that
So
stayed was my stomach.
you were just it just feels super weak.
Yeah, it's an understatement, man. Like I felt like I couldn't do anything at all, man. Raising my hand like this, it took me, from what I can remember, 2 weeks of training my shoulders to be able to do that really slowly and hold it for like 2 seconds.
Wow.
So you're going to rehab, I'm guessing. I mean, how long was the rehab process? I mean, what was the rehab process like?
Ooh. So I was doing rehab while at the hospital, and it continued well almost a whole year after that, after being let out of the hospital. Like, you see how I can grab this with no issues?
Yeah.
You know those baby water bottles this big? I remember I'd be like grabbing it like this, and I couldn't lift it off the table. Like my elbows rested and everything like this, and they're like, pick it up. I couldn't pick it up, man. Like that's all I could do. The rehab was crazy. I didn't know there were so many kinds of rehabs. There was speech rehab. There was uh some kind of rehab to let you be a normal adult again. The physical rehab to being able to get me to walk again. Like I had to start from those walkers that old people use.
Yeah.
I had to start by being able to get out of a chair and being able to stand up. That was insane because so I'm really messed up at that point. Basically sitting up from the bed, laying down to sitting up, I would pass out. Like my blood pressure would drop. I'd go unconscious. They'd have to like lay me down, pick my legs up to get me to wake up again. And it was a couple weeks of being able to just to sit back up again, to going to trying to stand up or getting body weight on my on my legs again. They'd have like 3 rehab nurses, like mainly guys, because I'm still a guy, I'm pretty heavy, to hold me up while they try to get me to take my first step. Dude, the first time that I got out of that bed and onto my feet, my legs, my back, everything was on fire because they were working again for the first time. Like, damn, I don't know how to describe it. It's just, trying to do leg day after you had leg day 2 days ago and you still have that 2 day, that second day leg soreness. It
Yeah.
was like that, but extreme.
It's crazy to think how something as simple as, like you said, lifting a little water bottle up, how we take that for granted. Whenever you don't have that experience, or like knowing what you've gone through and kind of that process. It's insane to try and fathom exactly what you went through, and because I mean, I, I don't know. It's kind of got me at like a loss for words. Um, it's definitely,
It's insane.
yeah, yeah.
So tell us more about like your current life right now, man. Like how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Right now, I'm feeling pretty good, man, where I'm at. I'm I'm obviously not in Denver City anymore because oil field air and me having bad lungs don't mix very well. Um, I mean, I feel like an out of shape guy right now compared to where I was 3 years ago.
Mm.
Like you haven't worked out for maybe a year or two and you're trying to get back into it. It's kind of what I feel like right now. I get um what's it called? Like lose my breath, trying to do normal things still, but it's
Yeah.
not as extreme.
Will you ever be the person you were before COVID, physically?
I hope so, man. I hope so. That's what I'm shooting for.
And is
Uh,
that just like, is that just like, are your lungs gonna like? Is that like, is it physically possible? Like, can you like really? If you just keep hitting it, I think you'll
I
just
can
like
keep.
one day it'll be there.
I'm gonna be optimistic and say yes. I've had all kinds of lung doctors and my personal doctor say, I have permanent lung damage. Like it's not gonna go away. I'm technically disabled as we speak right now. Like I'm permanently disabled when it comes to that. But I've been able to go back to the gym. I mean, it's like being a high schooler and you're starting off for the first time. But I've made significant progress from 3 years ago whenever I was going through PT. I'm gonna go with yes. I will be able to reach what I used to do. I'm probably not gonna be able to run a marathon or anything like how I used to. I,
Who wants to run a marathon, bro? You
at this
know?
point, man, I would love to.
Hey, I couldn't run a marathon right now either, so
It's insane, man. It's,
I'm gonna say
it
yes, man. I'm
sucks.
gonna stick to. I will get to it one day. Because I mean, they didn't think I'd
It's,
get off oxygen at all or be able to go without it. And I only use it at night now to sleep.
you have a goal in mind? Is there something you want to do physically that you like you're aiming for to do?
I want to be able to run a mile and a half without stopping, man, and not feel like I'm on the verge of death. Because every 2 days I go to my local gym here and I try to run. It, bro, it's tough. I carry my oxygen machine over here. I have a little portable one that I take hits of. And it's like vaping, but yeah, not vaping.
don't worry, it's just oxygen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's my super vape, solid THC.
Uh,
But no, I do have a goal to, at least be able to run a mile and a half again, like how I used to. Not how I used to, but be able to do it without stopping and having that, that. choking feeling that I can't breathe, I can't catch my breath. Like I want to be able to do that and just go back to normal at whatever I can.
So I guess would you say as long as you're staying physically fit, like the rest of your life, you'll still be, your quality of life will still be pretty good physically. Like as long as you just keep active the rest of your life, you think it'll like kind of almost be on the back burner most of the days.
Yeah, I feel like that. That's how I've been thinking about it lately because I'm not gonna lie. A couple days ago, I was just here by myself. I was deep in thought and I've come a long way from how I was a couple years ago because a couple years ago I didn't even see myself being able to just, talk as long as I'm talking right now without my oxygen machine or without, having a panic attack where I can't breathe.
Yeah.
But being active and staying active, I've felt a difference. I've If I keep doing this every day, I see light at the end of the tunnel that, I can be able to just get past this one day. So, yeah.
That's a phenomenal story, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been ejected from a vehicle, but compared to what you went through, I mean, that's like minuscule. It's child's play. I
You've been
can't even.
ejected
There's
from a
nothing in my
vehicle?
life that. Yeah, I mean, I got ejected from a vehicle, and like maybe I had my lung bruised for like maybe a week or so,
God damn.
but I've never been incubated like that. Never had to like, that's just insane. Because I mean, I had pneumonia when I was a child, so then I had asthma. Most people get asthma from pneumonia, but I couldn't imagine what that would have done to me had I got COVID like you got COVID. I probably wouldn't be here. It's insane to think about, to even try to fathom.
I think a majority of us
I
probably
mean,
would have.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a piece of shit, man. It's like I take, not going to the gym for granted, not wanting to do anything for granted. I mean, it's just it's a wild perspective. A lot of, I'm grateful. I feel a lot more grateful now after hearing your story.
Yeah,
Just insane.
for sure. And I mean, Alan's told us, bits of your story as it was happening. As he was living through it, as you were living through it, and it's from Alan's perspective, we only got so much of the story because he wasn't there, he wasn't living through it, and to be able to hear your side, it's truly phenomenal just to kind of hear exactly what you went through from start to now. 'Cause, I mean, it's been a long what process that you've gone through, and the fact that you're still in that recovery cycle, and that I mean it's been one hell of a journey for sure.
It has, man. I've left out a lot of things because
Yeah.
there's a lot of negative things that I try not to touch up on. I will say it was a humbling experience for me. I used to have like this inflated ego, very prideful. I never gave myself rest. I was never nice to myself. I was always pushing hard. Uh, this has forced me to take a step back and, say it's okay to, today's a rest day.
Yeah.
I just need to chill today. Or, I didn't succeed in this today. Instead of beating myself up, I'm like, let's just regroup and try again later. Cause I was really hard on myself before this. It's forced me to grow emotionally and mentally. I was a very emotionally and mentally immature person. It took this experience to help me realize that. I mean, I wouldn't want anybody to go through this, man. This was an experience.
For
Horrible.
sure. For sure. Um, I mean, kind of getting to where you are now. I mean, how is streaming been a part of your life? Like, when did you start streaming? Has this been something
All right.
fairly recent,
So
or?
this was recent. Like I want to say about a month ago, I decided because yeah, about a month ago, I decided, you know what? I have nothing else to do. I'm always at home. I have no income coming in. Uh, what can I do? All I do is play video games and go to the gym. And I remember a couple of my friends, or one of them in particular, he was like, start streaming. All you do is play games, just start streaming. See if you can make some money off of it or make some YouTube videos. And it's been hard, man. Like
Yeah.
it's fun. It's a fun learning process now. A month ago, whenever I put my first video, like went live, I was shitting bricks and everything. I haven't even showed my face or anything. I was just showing what game I was playing.
Yeah.
I got like three people to show up, and I was like, oh shit, what do I say? Because for the most part, I was just talking to myself the entire time. You're just talking to yourself, and then those three people showed up. I was like, uh, uh, hello.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
I mean, yeah, it's funny because we started. I mean, the whole idea for us to go on Twitch and to live stream our podcast was so we didn't have to worry about going through and editing, and then doing all of that process. So we were like, you know what, let's just go live. It'll make things a lot easier. And no, I mean, we were kind of the same way. It was one, two people, and every time someone would jump in, we'd get super excited, and we'd like derail everything we were talking about to just kind of like focus on talking with these people.
Yeah, I'll focus on that.
Yeah,
I think we had one random dude like tune in from like out of the country one time.
yeah. And I feel like at one point there was somebody telling us about like a relationship issue they were having. I don't know if you guys remember
Yeah,
that.
I think
Yeah.
yeah,
it was that random person.
Yeah.
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 I
And we were
remember that
like,
one actually.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
was in y'all stream at that moment watching, and I saw that, and I was hearing y'all talk about it. I was
Yeah.
like, this is crazy.
But
I also do YouTube too, man. I edit some videos.
okay.
I kind of have fun with it. I make myself laugh while I'm editing it. Uh, I mean,
Yeah.
it's been fun. Like,
Yeah. Editing's one thing that I was never really able to like get into. With work, I have to do it now. So it kind of makes me a little bit more hopeful for the podcast. I can mess around with some stuff. But
what do you do
it,
for work, if you don't mind me asking?
so I'm a marketing and events coordinator at a restaurant here in Kerrville. So yeah, we do a lot of like promo videos and stuff like that. So, but
It's like a
Nice.
restaurant.
yeah, but it's been pretty fun. But I mean,
What's up a restaurant?
uh, I mean, it's a cafe, so it's like I don't know, like American food, but so it's like five different things in one. So there's a cafe, there's a gift shop, a garden center, a bakery, and an amphitheater in the back. So
Garden center.
yeah,
this sounds just like your cup of tea.
yeah. I mean, it's got like it's pretty much like a destination type thing. Like because I mean, it's pretty far out from town, so it's probably like a good like 10, 15 minutes from town. So it takes you a bit to get there, but it's one of those places where you can kind of like stay there for an evening or an afternoon and just kind of you know get lost in everything that we have going on. So I call it a restaurant, but it's definitely a lot more than that. So, but, oh. But what kind of
That's
A
games do you?
restaurant and more.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can make it sound cooler than restaurant, bro.
Well, so it's called a
Yeah, it's just a
marketplace.
restaurant. Call it the marketplace. Then.
Yeah, I guess I call it the
See,
marketplace.
that sound that you say marketplace. I'm like, oh, do you do a lot of stuff at the market?
Yeah.
I thought of New York when you said marketplace. I was like, oh, that
Yeah,
marketplace.
he just sounded so sad. He's like, yeah, it's a restaurant, it's a cafe, amphitheater, and like, there's a gift
Has a little
shop.
garden.
And
Yeah. But
you can
but
like,
no, I mean
put your hands in the dirt in the garden, and like, it's alright. That sounds like it's how you made it sound.
It's very zen.
yeah, I mean honestly out there that is kind of what it feels like. It's pretty zen. It's pretty chill. It's just a destination.
Like, you feel like you unlock your chakra when you're out there.
Damn, who's
You
that?
have meditation when you're out there.
Who's DJ Wukong?
DJ Wukong.
I don't know.
Alan looks like a bitch. Damn, fuck you.
They're not lying.
Oh,
They are not lying.
Way to ruin
Damn,
the stream,
Alan, grow some fucking facial hair, dude.
bro. You think I've tried, bro?
They have surgery that you can do hair transplant.
Yeah,
Nah, I've been
Man.
thinking of doing it because I got little patches right here. I want to grow a full
Yeah, my shit
beard,
look-
but
my shit looks like shit, so I'm about to go back to the goatee. I'm about to give up.
a big old
Why
goat.
don't you ever tell Marcus anything?
Dude, Marcus
He
been
just said-
fucking babyface ever since we known him, dog.
Well, I've had a baby face the whole
Yeah.
time too.
He got a little baby ass mustache I can see from the camera.
Oh, you do?
Camera.
It's very light. It kind of blends in with the shadows.
Alan, you just look white, bro.
Alan's got the 3 little pube hairs.
Bro, they're not there right now. Okay, yeah, they kind of are.
Hey man, that's just how our family is. Either you come out like a bear or you come out with pubes. That's it. There's no in between. Like half of us, we're either like super hairy or we ain't got shit.
DJ Wukong says Marcus is so cool.
Man, who is this person?
I don't know. It's Chidori. Facts.
Man. So, Christian,
Damn.
what kind of games you play?
I play pretty much of everything, man. Lately, I've been doing like survival games
Okay.
and Fortnite. That's lately what I've been doing right now. It's just if you see my YouTube channel, like it's nothing but like Fortnite shorts and one Fortnite video. And when I'm streaming, it's always streaming this game called Once Human. I don't know. I got addicted to this. Like, has a little bit of everything that I like in the game: shooting, building, surviving, zombie-like creatures, multiplayer.
You ever play that game 7 Days to Die? It's a zombie game.
I have not.
That's
I've been
one
watching
you
some of my buddies play, and I want to buy it so I can
Yeah.
play it.
Yeah, that's when you
But
definitely.
you know what I
check
want to
out.
play? And you just reminded me, the new Assassin's Creed, dog.
Oh,
I have a buddy who's playing it.
Be like samurai and shit. Gangbanging fucking samurai.
Does that one actually look pretty good? I haven't really seen anything on it.
Dude, don't disrespect Assassin's Creed like that, dude.
Hey, I just said I haven't seen anything on it. All right.
Chris,
It looks pretty
Fortnite
cool.
is cool. Benedict
Thank you.
06. Ivan
I'm adding-
Viegas 12 says Marcus is not cool. That's true.
Damn.
Benedict
Yeah.
06 true.
Hey, why don't y'all say anything about Ivan over here?
He's pretty cute. He's pretty cute.
Oh my god.
Give him a cute streamer in the chat.
Cute streamer.
Fucking-
You're doing that little Riz
Oh,
thing.
he's
You're-
being
I saw him
the
I saw him doing it. He was like,
wrestler.
Nah, that's crazy. I'm sorry.
Little Rizzler.
One donation, Ivan takes off his shirt.
Dude, what?
Hey man, Alan just raised you up, so might as well go with it.
yeah, bro, I did
I
lose it.
Hey, I got something for you. Hold on. Let me mute this. I got something for you. Hold on. Give me a second.
Nah, bro, I think I know what you're gonna
Oh.
pop up.
What?
I already know what he's gonna
What's he
pull
gonna
up.
pull
I
up?
already know what he's-
Oh,
What?
here we
I
go.
literally already know what he's gonna pull up, bro.
Say it. What has he got?
Hey guys, so I was thinking, what better way to celebrate fucking Christian's survival with the Coors Light,
Oh
drink.
yeah, I forgot about that.
like a shotgun. Oh,
Hey, and you know what?
oh,
Even better, we just hit 70 followers too. So
70 followers. Oh, thank you.
oh,
people.
Hey, that's what's up. Congratulations, y'all.
time to celebrate, Ivan.
dude. Nervous. I don't think this is gonna sit well with the kombucha.
Oh,
But this one's for Christian and God. It's, you know, Christianity. Anyways, sorry, I'm just blabbing. I'm so nervous right now. Okay, are you gonna make fun of me if it's bad? Like, I need to know
No,
right now.
Alan will. Alan's like
I
the
mean,
shotgun master.
Okay,
no, not anymore, bro.
ready? Ready?
All right,
All right, count me down, guys, from 3.
All
all
right,
right,
count it down, chat. Okay, they're not counting down.
all right. 3,
Three,
2,
2,
2,
1.
1.
lift off.
Oh, yeah, I forget. We didn't say if we were going on go.
Oh,
Damn it, boy.
Is it empty?
Oh, I'm not gonna dump it right here in my fucking my room. It feels empty.
It feels empty.
My stomach.
is it still cold at least?
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably
it's been
cowboy
like-
cold.
It's been like 2 hours now.
This is my prized possession, Stacy, found her in Colorado.
Ooh.
Oh,
Fucking a moose antler. Sometimes I get bored and I want to role play. And I act like a moose. And I'm dead serious.
Hey, y'all's chat finally counted down.
yeah, I saw that.
Really? Whoever and
You should put that on a helmet, Ivan. Just
Just
mount
the
it on
one.
there, man. No, and then the other one
Have to
put
buy it.
that beer holder, and he
Oh,
drinks out of
yeah.
it. And
Oh!
shotgun it on one side, you
Dude,
puncture, and
That'd be pretty
Let me
smart.
say
That would
it.
just,
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. My lips are a little hard, okay? He started talking. That was a phenomenal idea. Phenomenal idea.
Oh my god. Oh man.
I guess tune in next week to see Ivan's new helmet.
Yeah. Yeah. I even have a new
At the
helmet
end-
for
at
us.
the-
new. That's what we should have. We should have like
I think
a
I should just
Ivan's
shotgun.
shotgun hour. Yeah.
oh, shotgun.
Oh,
ammo.
dude, I should shotgun a beer per podcast episode.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Never know when it's coming. Never know when it's coming. And every time it just gets more grandiose.
Oh.
It would be. It can be in the middle of like the most like sensitive subject. And you,
yeah.
Dude, bro,
We're all
imagine
in- we're
he's
all in
like
tears.
talking about it being
We're all-
in and out
we're
of
all-
when Chris
we're all
talking about
crying and
in
you
and
just
out
see
of
how you-
consciousness, and I just
you just see Ivan just like slowly over there, like
Hey, man, you can say it's a coping
Oh.
mechanism. He was coping with that moment,
he was
right?
coping.
I was like, fuck Christian.
Oh
How crazy.
my god.
So what?
That'd be
You
pretty
said
good.
he's
though.
going to San Antonio?
Hey, bro, I do appreciate you coming on here, though, bro. I know it's hard talking to you about all that stuff, but it's phenomenal how far you've come and how the roads that you have ahead of you. I'm sure it's nothing but the best, and I'm glad you're here. I know deep down inside, everyone here, everyone's glad that you're here, and I appreciate you telling us your story, bro. And I know I've heard it multiple times, but having everyone else hear it, it's people need to hear that. People need to hear that story so that they have some motivation to go. That know that anything in this life is possible if they put their heart to it. Really.
Yeah. And
I
just how
appreciate y'all
quickly
having me,
things can
man.
change too. I mean, it goes both ways. So, but no, I mean, yeah, Christian,
No.
thank you so much for telling your story. Opening yourself up, being vulnerable. Because I mean, it's a hell of a story, and yeah. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed hearing that story. I know I enjoyed it. I feel like I was super quiet for this episode, but again, it's just because there's really not a. You're at a loss for words, and yeah. I mean, it's beautiful.
I don't want to be selfish here. I need to tell my dad joke. Can I tell it?
Oh, I forgot about
yeah.
that, bro.
Yeah. We'll close it up with the.
It's
dad
not
joke.
about me, I know, but I found one after y'all were bitching and shit. I mean,
All right. Let's hear Ivan's dad joke of the week.
oh. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
This one's a real knee slapper. That's what I
Okay.
hear. Oh, where'd it go? Oh,
my
no.
Oh,
Hold up, hold up,
man,
hold up,
choked.
hold up.
Of course.
Oh,
Oh.
fuck. All right, hold up.
Of course.
Where'd it go? No.
And he
Man.
choked.
Okay, well, I remember it. I remember it. Oh, dude. Okay. What do you call?
So you don't remember it?
How the fuck was it? Hold up, bro. Hold up. Because I had it, bro.
Well, while we're waiting for Ivan to find this joke, Christian, you want to plug anything while we got you here?
Yes.
Damn, bro. I had something in mind, but oh, that threw me off.
Yeah.
I was
You
locked
wanna
in for that dad joke, and it was like, where'd it go?
Yeah, I know.
you want you
Total
want
letdown.
you want to add your YouTube or anything on here, bro?
If y'all would like to, if y'all can subscribe, like and subscribe to me at Dr. Smash 404. That's my YouTube channel. That's my Twitch. That's all my socials. Dr. Smash 404 is the same as right here on the chat. I'll put it in the chat. I'd appreciate it. Let me
Yeah,
see.
and again, we'll actually put you under one of our recommended channels. So, and I don't know if you guys have seen that,
Appreciate
but
it, man.
we can do that on our Twitch. Whenever we're not live, we can recommend other people. And yeah, we'll definitely make sure that we put you in there, get you recommended. And yeah, but no, again, Christian, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a really good time talking with you and just getting you on. I definitely think we need to have you on again. I mean,
Whenever, man.
I want to hear more about Alan as a little kid. See how much of a little bitch he was then.
I don't think you want to hear about
Uh,
that.
those are some stories, man.
I'm sure. But
I mean, he has the scars to prove it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's a
That's
champion. Ivan was
that's a
there for one of them.
story for another time.
yeah,
Whenever y'all want to have me back, man, I'm down whenever.
yeah, man, for sure. It's been a great
I'd
time.
love to have you back. We'd love to have you back, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Just let me know, man. I'm down.
Ivan, did you
Let's
find
see if
that
I
dad
can
joke?
get it.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Here we
okay.
go. I'm about to find it. Give me a second. Fucking back off, man. Dude, I think it's right here.
Can I get a whole yeah in the chat?
Well, guys,
Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
while Ivan is still looking for that dad joke, just want to remind you guys.
All right. You know what? I think okay. I think this is how it went.
Okay, all right.
It's not funny. Fucking. Anyways, so what do you call a book club that's been stuck on a book longer than 1 year?
Wait, what?
What do you,
What do you call a book club that's been stuck on a book longer than a year?
what do you call a book club that's been
Stuck on a book.
Stuck on a book longer than a year.
the Elder Scrolls, the Sea Scrolls?
I don't know, calendar?
The library?
Let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready. Are those y'all's
Okay,
guesses?
okay. No, say it one more time. One more time.
Oh my god.
What do you call a book club that's been stuck on a book longer than a year?
A bookworm.
No. Okay. We ready?
Yeah.
Church.
God.
He didn't do the Bible because he got one book.
That's so stupid. Oh man.
Dude, no.
I don't get it.
Dude, because they only study one book in church, bro.
Oh,
Dude.
Oh.
that's good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Not expecting that one, man.
Well, guys, again, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. If you haven't already, make sure you follow what's going on. We'll be live every Tuesday, 7 o'clock. But yeah, until next time, guys.